So Destiny 2 is like my guilty pleasure where I just enjoy the game just very casually to the point where I'm not gonna do everything in the game. I'm not gonna get every exotic and I'm not gonna do every single quest line or every mission, whatever. I really don't give a fuck. Like I will do everything to stay up to level and maybe try to get the best gear. But if the best gear is too hard to get, I'm not gonna go out of my way to do that. I'm just not gonna do that. And Rite of the Nine is a perfect example of doing this. Because Rite of the Nine is just not enough, if that makes sense. I really try to understand, like, yeah, you know, they're trying to do an Into the Light too by bringing back new things, oh, bringing back old things, this and that, blah blah blah. And I was trying, you know, keep an open mind, you know, this and that, blah blah blah. But so far in these two dungeons, I've been kind of like not really disappointed. There's just no reason to play it. There's really not. Like in Spire of the Watcher, there wasn't a single gun there that made me want to like, wow, I really want to grind this because this weapon that came back with new and improved perks is so much better than the gun that this and this blah blah blah. Like no, like the Spire of the Watcher didn't have any gun like that. It really didn't. As much as I hate to say it, that's just the downright fucking truth. And even like Ghost of the Deep right now, same really thing. There's not a gun in Ghost of the Deep that makes me think like, wow, this gun is gonna be a meta changing. I need to grind for this and that, blah blah blah. Like not really. Like the best thing about Ghost of the Deep is no survivors and probably a big probably because I don't use glaives, greasy luck. Obviously, like the only reason Cold Comfort isn't part of like the new and improved is because Hezen Vengeance is out and Hezen Vengeance is just so much better in so many ways, aka just shoot faster, no reloading, and that's just a big thing. But like overall, you know what I mean? Like Ghost of the Deep, once you get that one gun, you're good. Because no survivors, heal clip incandescent is a really good perk combination, but it's also something that's like in three other guns. So like you don't necessarily need that to have like the best gear possible. You know what I mean? And even like the term of like, oh, you know, Cold Comfort was amazing then, the new and updated perks will make it amazing. And yeah, I mean the new updated perks do add some really cool varieties and really cool things that you know what, they make it more interesting. But it's not meta changing or it's not something that for me makes me want to go and grind for that, if that makes sense. And it's not even a matter of difficulty. I never really care about difficulty. In Destiny 2, I really enjoyed difficult things, especially with a theme with a team. Like when you like what's it called? When Ghost of the Deep first came out and you were trying to solo that, it was not an easy thing to do. It really was not an easy thing to do. And I spent 8 hours straight just streaming trying to get it like to get it done, and I could not get it done. I dead ass could not get it done. I had to wait for the crafting gun glitch to be able to get it done. And was it a good way to do it? No, of course not. But I got it done. I got it done at the end of the day. And so like, you know, I don't mind difficult things. In fact, I enjoy difficult things. When Into the Light came out back last year before what's it called? Before the final expansion that came out. I forgot what it's called right now. But Into the Light did so well because Into the Light it did bring back old guns. It really did. But these guns were such like, I don't want to say meta defining, but that's really what they were. And the biggest example of this is the Recluse. Like the Recluse back in the day was the gun that you fucking needed. You needed it for PvP, you needed it for PvE, and you didn't have it, you were a fucking loser. Mountaintop, same, well, not the same story for PvP, but for PvE, it was a fucking monster. It was a fucking like a menace. You had that gun, you were like next level, and that's just the way it was. That really is the way it was. And you know, those two guns defined the meta for a little while, and they were not easy to attain. And then like the other guns, like Hammerhead. Hammerhead is a really good fucking legendary machine gun. I love using Hammerhead, but I just know that like it's not. It is meta defining to a certain extent, but there's also different machine guns that kind of get the job done, if that makes sense. Edge Transit. Edge Transit also played a really big role in just like the meta, I guess you could say. And when they re-released it, it literally became the best grenade launcher ever. And also, I guess you could say it was a perk combinations, but in that same sense of like, oh, it was only the perk combinations. Yeah, exactly. The perk combinations made it that fucking good, and it was worth grinding for. You know what I mean? Like I would get on, like I would jump into the light. like constantly trying to get the best weapon, this and that, blah blah blah. And for me, it was perfect timing because I had nothing else going on in my life during that time, and so I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna play some Destiny 2 and I'm gonna go into it. And so yeah, like there was a reason to run Onslaught during that time because the guns made running Onslaught so much fucking worth it. And even to this day, a lot of those guns are still really good. I say that with a really big quotation marks because I don't play Destiny 2 as much, so I can't really say what's meta right now. But I know I still use Hammerhead. I know that Recluse, I still be using that shit sometimes. I know that what's it called? Edge Transit. That's like my main go-to fucking what's it called? Grenade launcher. And it's mainly those three guns. I use Mountaintop sometimes, but not really, just because I don't I don't really use it. I have no reason why. And like obviously they have other guns like the pulse rifle, the scout rifle, the sniper, this and that. And so yeah, even in that same sense, Into the Light had some really shitty, not really shitty guns, but just guns that to me weren't like meta defining or like the best thing ever. You know what I mean? They were good. They were really good. I don't want to say that they were bad, but you know, to me they weren't like wow, if that makes sense. And so yeah, but even outside of Into the Light having really good guns, Into the Light had a really fun activity. Onslaught, you know what I mean? It had an amazing like premise of like, oh, you know what? Here's a whole new game mode on maps you already know, but these PvP maps are in PvE now. And it's like, okay, I mean, it's whatever. It's to me it was whatever. To me when I first saw that I was like, okay, I mean, cool, I guess. I don't really care. And the execution was okay to me. Like it was just okay if that makes sense. But what made it really fun to me was the hard mode. I think it was called legendary mode. I can't even remember anymore. But legendary mode was really fun. The reason why it was really fun was because you actually had to concentrate and actually had to like put work into your build. And it wasn't even a matter of like, oh, you have to do the best thing, this, like optimize like to every single fucking no. You really didn't have to. Like I know I did what's called legendary onslaught and beat it multiple times with a build, yeah, that I had to optimize, yeah, but it wasn't perfectly optimized. It really wasn't just to like a huge extent, like a huge extent. Like I cannot express that enough. But it was hard enough to where yes, you had to pay attention and yes, you had to be there. But it was also not hard enough to where like you literally had to like micromanage every single stat in your armor or every single gun and perk. And no, you didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? And I really like that about Into the Light and Onslaught that they released. And even now, Onslaught is still being played today, and with a good reason, because it's actually a fun game mode. And I enjoy Onslaught, I really do. I just don't play Destiny 2 as often as I would really like. But with Rite of the Nine, I thought it was going to be a similar experience to Into the Light. Because, you know, oh, they're bringing back old guns with new perks. That's pretty cool. They're making the old dungeons harder. That's also pretty cool. But, I mean, there's just no reason to run the dungeons when the guns aren't really worth it. And the dungeons being hard, yes, that's fun to me. But it's to the point where it's like, how do I say this? It's to the point where, like, the difficulty scaling does not match the weapons you get. And it's gone to the point where, like, I don't really care for Rise of the Nine. I'm gonna keep playing it and I'm gonna keep doing every single dungeon, not because oh they have the best loot or this and that or blah blah blah. I just really enjoy Destiny 2. I really enjoy the gameplay and I really enjoy like you know doing all that, being a warlock, tie-in hunter, you know doing all that bullshit. I really enjoy that aspect of Destiny 2. That's something that I really enjoy. I really enjoyed the dungeons when they came out because when they came out, there were new guns, whole new activity, and obviously getting the new exotic and you know doing it with your friends, and that's something that I really enjoyed. But with the re-release of the dungeons, it just seems like it's not fun. Well, not fun. Like I said, it's just not worth it. It's really not worth it. And so, Rights of the Nine just seems like a really big just flop, if that makes sense. Because to me, like for the next dungeon that comes out, I think it's Prophecy. There's not really a gun to me that makes me want to wow I really want this gun or this gun really captures my attention or this and that. Like I don't think there is, and if there is, that's cool and I will grind for that gun because you know why not, you know what I mean. But also I'm not gonna go completely out of my way to like you know grind it because it's just fun and has completely worth loot, because it doesn't. It just really doesn't. And at the end of the day, if you enjoy the Rise of the Nine and you enjoy the loot that you get from it, and you really enjoy the dungeon experience, then great. I love that for you. At the end of the day, I'm a fucking idiot. Like, my opinion doesn't matter. I've stated this multiple times where I'm not playing Destiny like every single day of every single week, every single time. Like, no, I'm not. Like, Iron Banner, it's been out for like multiple weeks. Well, I guess like multiple times now, and I haven't even gotten the new fucking trace rifle because I don't really care for it. Not because it's a bad trace rifle, but just because I don't really use trace rifles. That's just not something that I use a lot, and I'm okay with that. I am completely okay with it. And like I said, I'm gonna do the new dungeon, and I'm the prophecy dungeon, and I'm gonna beat it once. And if it's worth loot, then I will grind for the gun that's worth going for. But I'm not gonna spend the time that I did into the light. So I think Rise of the Nines, it was a flop, yes, but also I don't think it would ever compare to Into the Light. I don't think there was any chance for it to compare whatsoever. And at the end of the day, I don't really know if the devs ever even intended for that to happen. But like, it's just not much going on there. It's just really not. And an argument I was gonna make was that oh, they they released the raid guns again, but craftables, and it's like the same thing. Or like, I mean, yeah, they're good guns. I'm not gonna say they're shitty guns because there's a lot of good guns in them. Like for example, Heads and Vengeance and like Vault of Glass. I don't even know I don't even know the guns that came out recently for that one Garden of Salvation dungeon or raid. I don't even know any of those guns because none of them make a big impact. So like I said, same fucking story. But yeah, no, I just don't really like Rite of the Nine, and it was more of like me complaining about it and just me giving an opinion. But again, my opinion doesn't fucking matter. I'm just some random guy on the internet. You do not have to agree. You do not have to like, oh my god, he's so right. No, obviously I'm a fucking idiot. Like you don't have to listen to me. But yeah, I mean, if you like it, great. If you don't, me too. But yeah, just take care. This background video that's being played right now, I think it'd be over there. Anyway, this background video that's being played, I am eating ass so fucking hard. And I promise you, I don't play Warlock, and I hate playing support as a Warlock. I fucking hate it. I was gonna rant about that at some point, but when that video comes out, I will rant so fucking hard about Well of Radiance because I fucking hate every single activity being a Warlock and being like, oh, run a Well of Radiance, that's the best. No, I fucking hate it. I want to run Stasis. It fucking sucks. The super doesn't do shit. But you know what? I love running Stasis. I like freezing targets and blowing them the fuck up. What about it? Sue me, I guess. But that's gonna be like something that I do at some point. Rant about Well of Radiance. But for now, that's it. Take care.